Hey, you guys, it's Michelle. I'm going to wait just a minute. I got on a little bit late because my 12-year-old took off with my phone and didn't ask. So I was like yelling through the house, where's my phone? So we'll just wait a minute and then we'll get started. Tonight I'm going to share, I was having some thoughts. If you guys haven't listened to Haley Ragsdale's training that I shared with a group, it was awesome, and I adore Haley. We both are sponsored by Nicole Smith, so we're kind of like sisters, white sisters, white cousins, whatever. But she's awesome. She's amazing, and I love everything about Haley. Haley has when she first got started in the business, she put together kind of an Excel spreadsheet of her like progress in the business, of how many she sponsored, what her team sold, what she sold, and kind of tracked her first year. And when I joined, I literally found that Excel spreadsheet and I just did the exact same thing that she did. I made sure my company numbers were the same. I was sponsoring the same. So it was really helpful for growing my business listening to her. So, all right, tonight I want to just share some insights about having incredible success with Younique. So this is probably going to be geared not toward our hobbyists, which we love our hobbyists. We need our hobbyists. We appreciate you, but this message is not really geared toward you. So if you can stay on if you want to, or you can log off, whatever. Hey, Kimberly. Hey, Tamara. So I have 5 things. I've written down some notes so that I stay on point, but I wanted to talk to you about what makes somebody really successful. I think one of the things I am good at is observing, and I observe, what the successful people are doing. What are the patterns of success? How do they think? How do they feel? What do they do? And there's definitely a pattern of those that are successful. So I'm going to share with you some top secrets of of success of what I have found. So first I want to ask you guys, or think about, have you ever heard, there's been studies done of people that have won the lottery. Okay, so everyone, that's like a big thing, right? You want to win the lottery, you put your money in, you buy your lottery ticket, you get the money, and you think, oh my gosh, if I could just win the lottery, it's going to totally change my life. Like all these things I can do this and this and this. And a lot of times the people that win the lottery, it's usually not wealthy people that are buying lottery tickets, right? It's people that are down on their luck, maybe not in the best situations in life, that often will win the lottery. And what happens when they win the lottery? So in our minds, we're going to think, well, they win the lottery, like their life is going to be immensely better. They're going to be able to do all those things that they wanted to do. But what actually happens is usually it's within about 5 years, they are back in the same exact financial situation they were before. There's a study. I'll have to find it and link it, but they've done a study, because here's what happens when we are comfortable with where we're at in life, whether it's low class, middle class, upper class, whatever financial situation you are or cultural situation you are, you're really comfortable with where you're at. And we resist change. It's just the same way like gaining weight, losing weight. Our bodies resist change. Well, our mind and the way that we resist change as well. So those people that are, win the lottery, all of a sudden they have all this money, but their mindset has not changed about money. They reject the money. They reject the success and they push it away. They lose it. They gamble it. There's things that happen and they're back to the same financial situation they were before. Okay. Same thing happens. Again, you could use this with weight too. We have people that go through these, challenges and things. They lose a lot of weight and it starts creeping back up because they haven't changed the habits. They haven't changed their mindset, how they think about things. So we can always try to change the outside stuff, but unless we change what's going on inside, in our minds and our hearts and our soul, it's not going to last. It's not going to stay. So how does that affect with direct sales and with being successful in your business? Well, we have this immense opportunity. Something was clicking on my phone. We have this immense opportunity, and a lot of you have come into this business saying, I want to be successful. I want to be a leader. So how do you go from white status to black status? You start being a leader the moment you sign up. You start thinking like a leader. I loved listening to Brittany Kaplan talk about her journey to Black, because she said, you know, what I did was I knew if I wanted to be Black status, I had to start acting like a Black status presenter when I was yellow status. So I started following all of the Black status leaders and purple status leaders and green status leaders. You know, I started, what did they do? I started doing what they did. I started doing the same kind of actions. We have some people that come in this business and they think, well, yeah, to be green status, you have to sell $500, but I don't have to sell $500 until I get to green status. So I'm going to sell $250 or $150 or, you know, whatever I need to do right now. And then once I hit green, I'll totally bump up to 500 in PRS. No, you want to start doing it now. You want to start being that leader now. And this comes from my other company, but we held meetings with our team. So when I joined, I had about 5 people on my team. I was yellow status. And I held my first team meeting because I knew that's what leaders do. Leaders hold meetings. Leaders get together. Leaders inspire. Leaders do calls. And so I didn't wait for the team to be built. I just started doing the things that leaders do. So number 1, so I have 5 tips I'm going to share with you tonight. First one is act like the leader that you want to be. And don't wait for your leader to be the leader you want to be, okay? First of all, no one's perfect, so no one is going to be the ideal leader. No one is going to be totally consistent, on time, perfectly praised. No, never forget anything. Like, I don't think a perfect leader exists. We try, but no one's going to be perfect. But let's say you feel like, oh my gosh, if I only had the perfect leader, I could be the perfect leader. No. You be the perfect leader you want to be. Don't wait for your leader. So take a step and just decide, I'm going to be this amazing leader and I'm going to be great at recognizing and I'm going to be supportive. It doesn't matter what your sponsor did or didn't do. We have people in our company that have hit the very top rank whose sponsors went MIA. Like, maybe they're not even with the business anymore. You know, they quit. So, I mean, like Nicole Smith is a perfect example, you guys. Her aunt signed up under Lynetta, and then her aunt told Nicole's sister who signed up, and then Nicole signed up under her. And Nicole's sister is no longer even with the company. She quit like in 8-9 months into the company. She's gone. So it wasn't like Nicole had this amazing supportive sponsor. You know, she just decided to do it. Okay, so be the leader that you want to be. And like I said, follow other leaders and maybe even make a list. You guys write out like, I mean, and you guys can even write in the comments, like, what do you feel like a great leader is? You know, what are the things that you admire in somebody else? I have some wonderful mentors. I have someone from my last company even. And when I think about a great leader, she comes to mind always. And so I think, how can I be more like her? What does she do that I loved in a leader? You know, or a great seller, you know, whatever you're aspiring to be. Maybe leadership isn't what you're aspiring to be, but maybe you just want to have a ton of sales. Whatever you're aspiring to be, start doing it now. Don't wait to get there. Start doing it now. Second thing that successful people do is they speak in the present. So there's a whole study about how the things that you say goes into your mind and your mind believes it and it starts manifesting in the things that you do and the things that you see. And this is not hokey pokey stuff. This is true. So you need to go watch The Secret if you've never seen it before. But to prove my point, I want you guys to think about if you have ever been shopping for a car or looking at a car, okay? If you've ever been thinking about purchasing a car, I can guarantee that the next time you started driving around, all of a sudden, you started seeing more of that type of a car, right? If you're like, I'm looking at a, you know, Honda Accord or whatever, you're going to start seeing Honda Accords everywhere and be like, holy cow, everybody drives a Honda Accord. If you're looking for a certain truck, all of a sudden, you're going to start noticing that. And it's science. That's what happens with our minds. When we visualize something, when we think something, all of a sudden, we start seeing it. And that's why we try to keep like our team pages so positive, because anytime if you focus on negative things, even if it's like one little negative thing, all of a sudden you're going to start seeing negative things like everywhere. Every little negative thing, you're going to be like, well, holy cow, there's something wrong with this and there's something wrong with that. I had a lady, and she was super sweet. Bless her. She was so super sweet and super nice. She was in my past business, but she struggled because she would always bring out these little things, little negative things, and they were very little things, but to her they were huge. So for example, she couldn't get past the fact that there were typos on the PDFs that the company would send out sometimes. Yes, I totally get it, not professional. We definitely don't want that to have happen, but she so much couldn't get past it, she couldn't sell. And in my mind, I was like, well, I know that's kind of annoying, but I'm still selling, so I'm just going to work past it. So focus on those positive things. So speak in the present. I learned this at a self-development retreat I did with my other company. When you want something, okay, don't speak about it in the present. I mean, in the future. Don't say, well, I want to be green status, or I want to be successful, or I want to earn $1,000, or I want to be confident, or I want to be, you know, those are all things, those are like wishes in the future, okay? You want to speak as if you already are. I am green status. I am a great leader. I am confident. And those are those positive affirmations, but you're saying them in the present. Because guess what? Your mind is going to believe whatever you say. It does. Just trust me on this one. So if you're saying, I am confident, guess what? You're going to start feeling more confident. I am great at parties. I can book, you know, I am booking parties left and right. Everybody wants to book parties with me. You know, if you start saying things like that, you're just going to see these positive things start manifesting to you. And it's crazy how it happens because, you know, you can't control it. It just happens. You're doing good things. You're saying good things start coming to you. It's really awesome how it works. And my phone's not really letting me see comments. So if you guys are commenting and are asking questions, I can't really see it. So just keep commenting. Number 3, okay, focus on your why. So we've said this over and over again. I was reading a passage from Big Al Schreider's book about building network marketing leaders. And one thing that he really emphasized was, you know, you can have all the tools you want. We can have booklets and how-tos and videos and websites and how to book and scripts to say, like we do. We have like so many tools right at our fingertips. So everyone should be successful because there's tools everywhere. YouTube, school, I mean, you can learn how to do anything in this business. What differentiates somebody that is successful, hugely successful, from someone that's mildly successful? One word: desire. Desire. This person had an immense desire to be successful. So they will figure out any way that they can. They're almost to the point that they're stubborn, right? They will not accept not being successful. They will do whatever it takes. They will come, and I'm going to use our JD on our team, for example, because this was just amazing. You guys, last month, she was at 4,000 in sales on the 15th, I think, and 5,000 in sales on the 20th on her team. But her desire, her why was so big that she rallied her team together. She encouraged them to look at why they're doing this business, you know, their passion, their excitement, their desire for change. And her team sold 5,000 in company sales with 10 days left to go in the month. 8 days. She hit it less than 2 days before the end of the month. If you're ever wondering how to motivate yourself or to motivate your team, it's desire. What do you want? How bad do you want it? Are you willing to sacrifice things to get to what you want? So make sure you have that written out in front of you. Because everyone has tough times. Everyone has frustrations. Everyone has people that say no. And what's going to make the difference between the A person and the B person is you're going to say, you know what? I'm going to keep trying. I'm going to try again because my why is too important. I want to stay home with my son. That is more important than accepting no's from people. I want to help my husband feel less stressed. I want my husband to be able to take whatever job position that he wants to take. I want to be able to put my kids in dance classes. So when someone tells me no, I am going to keep going because my why is so strong that I'm not going to accept, you know, having to go back to my kids and say, I'm sorry, we can't do that because we can't afford it. You know, if you're, and why does it have to be, it can be whatever it needs to be for you. Whatever's going to motivate you. Your why is going to be different than my why. But if it's something small, I mean, I know Sherry Brown started with a pedicure. Some people start out with a purse, you know, that's fine. but it has to grow. In order to reach the top, it has to grow. Your why should make you emotional. If you and I were standing face to face and you were telling me about, like I had a conversation today about someone, her husband's in school, and she told me, I don't want to have to wait 10 more years for my life to like start, be able to put my kids in soccer games and be able to afford all these extra things while we're paying off all the school debt and getting started with this career. I want it to start now. And that was part of her why. And that's an important part of your why. You know, that was my thing. Like, I don't want to have to wait until, you know, we are in a good financial situation to start having my kids do the things that they want to do. I want to do it now while it's important, while they're young, while they're growing up. So have that why front and center in your business. And I love what JD did. She wrote down in a journal how she felt when she accomplished things, how she felt when someone said yes. And those moments that were frustrating, you know, write down that why, have it like I have one on my mirror of what I want to accomplish and look at it all the time, you guys, all the time. Because I can't motivate you. You have to be motivated from within, from your why. All right. Oh, and then I love this saying, and I know this is a little tough love, but if your why is big enough, then you'll figure out the how. You won't need someone to tell you. You will find a way to make it happen because you're so determined. Fourth thing is don't give yourself a time limit. So if you listen to Haley's message, and I'm going to tell you guys a story. So Haley talked about her experience. She was able to retire from a 6-figure, very successful job, and they hired someone else to replace her. 3 months after they hired him, they actually let him go. Now, I don't know if that would have happened to her, but I have grown very skeptical of the corporate world from listening to my husband's experience. So my husband is currently a manager for a nationwide company. And so he is basically in charge of all these different offices. And he has had some experience where he did need to let someone go for very legitimate, you know, legal reasons. They were doing things they should not be doing. But he's also had the HR, you know, Human Resources Department tell him, you need to let this person go. And just recently, within the last few weeks, he had Human Resources told him, you need to fire this person because they made this mistake. And he was thinking, well, okay, I get the mistake, but I know this person. I know what a good person he is, the worker. I'm sure it wasn't intentional, you know, I'm sure he won't do it again. And he had to basically go to Human Resources and like defend this person so he wouldn't get fired over one little mistake that he made, you know, like one mistake. And that's just crazy that you can set your whole like family security, your house security on a job that you have no control over. You know, we don't live in an economy now where people stay in the same position for 50, 60 years, or 50, that sounds really long. 40, 30, you know, 30, whatever years. Yeah. Just a second, Ben.
They got that from the first box.
I know. Go down. Go get your jammies on. Everyone else has their jammies on. Okay. Go. Get your jammies on. We don't live in that era anymore. And I had several years ago. So my belief system, and this might be different for everybody. My belief system is I believe that I can get revelation, inspiration, instincts about what to do for my family. That's what I believe. I believe, and I have felt very strongly that I've gotten that. And several years ago, I had this really distinct feeling that I needed to be responsible for my family's, like if an emergency happened. So like having food prepared, you know, food storage or emergency supplies. And that if something did happen, it would be my responsibility. And if I wasn't prepared, then that would be on me. And that was a really strong feeling that I got several years ago. And so I've acted on that here and there, you know, gotten things together, little, you know, emergency kits and things like that. But until just recently, I realized, you know, that is also financial. Like, that is something that I can do. I can help us have multiple streams of income. So if something happens with my husband's job, we are taken care of. And I don't have to worry about that. And the peace of mind that gives me is huge. It's huge. I can't get fired. If I need money, I can go out and work harder. But that opportunity is there for me. So you guys don't give yourself a time limit with this business. When I went to the first ever leadership retreat, first of all, when I joined Younique, I had no idea what this job was going to be. I just knew I needed to make at least like $1,000 a month. My goal was to make $2,000 a month. And, you know, I just kind of was like, you know, job, money, whatever. And then I went to the first leadership retreat with Derek and Melanie. First ever. I'm sitting there with Sherry Brown, with Amber Voigt, with Jess, with, I always say her name wrong, Prazik. These amazing people, Wendy Kirkham, and Derek sits us down and talks to us about the compensation plan and how it works and how it's designed. Now, you guys, we had like less than 3,000 presenters. He had no idea the growth we were going to see in this company. But what he said, I mean, it gave me butterflies and goosebumps and all that kind of good stuff. He said, you know, we will have 100 millionaires in this company. So it's just a matter of who wants to be one of those. But our compensation plan will allow, you know, once we fill out the whole compensation plan, we should have at least 100 people that are millionaires in this company. I think right now we have 3 or 4, maybe 4 or 5 that have hit that status. And when he told me that, I was like, holy cow. Like, I got home and I was like, I got to run with this. This is urgent. Like, this is an opportunity I can't waste. And one thing I liked about what Haley said in her training was she felt like what her strategy was spend less energy in my full-time job, because that is something that is constant income. It's not going to go up. If I put more effort into that, I'm not going to get more money. But if I put more effort into my Younique business, that income is going to go up. And my husband and I have had similar conversations. Like yes, he could get a promotion and his income can go up. But my income is like doubling every year and his is not. And we can leverage that. You know, we can spend more time in my business and have it go up. I mean, since I've joined, I mean, it's increased. It's just crazy. It's exponential. You know, what kind of businesses are exponential? What kind of jobs can you get where you get a pay raise? It's exponential. I don't know. If you find another one outside of direct sales, let me know, because it's really, really rare. You guys have this opportunity. So I posted a picture of, you know, if you ever had, what kind of effort would you put into a $100 a month job? What kind of effort would you put into an $80,000 a month job? You guys, we all pay $99 for the kit. But if we treat it like it's $1 million business, what would you do things differently? You know, would you treat your business differently if you knew that you were running $1 million business? Don't wait till you get to that point. Start doing that now, because that's going to get you there a whole lot faster if you're treating your business like that. And then, yeah, don't give yourself a time limit. Don't say 2 months and if I don't get anything, I'm done. Like, I really think Megan Dashley tells us to her team, and I totally agree with it. You know, the first 6 months is like learning. It's like you're going to school for direct sales. And then the next 6 months is building. And then the next year is growing. So if you give yourselves 4, 5, 6 months, you're just learning. It's like, you know, dental school or going to school to be an attorney. Like, there are skills you need to learn. And you might come into this business with no network. And so you're using those 6 months to build your network. Don't compare your journey to anyone else's. You know, you don't know what they did before Younique. I mean, I was in direct sales for 6 years before Younique. Nicole Smith, she was running a social media couponing blog. She had all of these contacts. So your journey is going to look totally different than anybody else's. But I mean, like JD, she started a year ago. She hit yellow, and then it was 9 months before she hit pink. And then she made a decision. Remember, it's all mental. She made a decision to do something more. And that's what made the difference. It's the decision that you're not going to accept anything else but success for your business. And be stubborn, you guys. That's, I think, one of my, there's a lot of things I'm not good at, but I do think I'm stubborn in a good way. And I think a lot of the top leaders in the company are stubborn. They just will not accept not being successful. They work really hard to make that happen. And then the last thing, 5th secret of success, is to trust the system. Trust the system, okay? When a leader says, this is what I do, trust that that's going to work. The worst thing you can do in your business is be skeptical and be like, well, I know Sherry says to do parties, but surely that can't work anymore. And then you wait a year, don't hold any parties, and then you hear Carol Lewis Newton talking about how she held 14 parties in 1 week, you know, and you're letting all this time go by, not trusting that it's going to work. When people say, yeah, I'm going to add people in my customer group, and here's what I do, and like you have all these amazing leaders basically like spoon feeding all this information, this awesome information, the how to, here's what I did, here's what I did. If you don't dive in and do exactly what they did, then you're kind of saying, I don't know, maybe it's not going to work anymore, you know? Maybe they just got really lucky, but maybe that momentum's over. No, it's still going great. So trust that Younique is a vehicle to get you to amazing possibilities, you guys. Like, holy cow, amazing. All of you guys, every single person on our team has the ability to grow a huge, immense business. Your life today, give it 1 year. Next year could look totally different. Your financial situation could look night and day. It can happen fast. Once you make that decision to be the change, to be positive, to follow what other people are doing, and then also be innovative. You know, do it in your own way. But don't be skeptical of the process. Does direct sales work? Maybe it doesn't work. Maybe I'll just put my toe in and just kind of like try it out. No, just jump all in, you guys. Run with it. That's where the biggest success comes from. So believe you can do it. Act like the leader that you want to be right now. Okay, get those 500 in sales. If you're ever planning on being a green, elite, and above, that's what you got to be doing anyway. So you might as well start now. Speak about yourself in the present, not in the future. Focus on your why. Write it down. Tell the world about your why. If you haven't made a why video about why you're doing this business and shared it with your Facebook family, your Facebook networks, that should be like #1 on your list, because that people are going to connect to you. They're going to relate to you, and they're going to join you because of how strong your why is. Don't give yourself a time limit for your success. I mean, the time's going to pass anyways. I love that Haley said it. Time's going to pass anyways. You might as well be working it. The only way you're not going to make money in this business is if you quit, right? If you quit, you're definitely not going to make any money. If you stop working, you're not going to make any money. If you keep going, you're going to find success. It's just a matter of time. And then trust the system. Okay, you guys, we have an amazing company. Is everything perfect? No, I'm not going to pretend everything's perfect. There's no company, none, that has anything perfect. None. There's different cultures in different companies. There's different products. There's things, back orders. That happens in other companies too. We just happen to be in a company that's got an amazing culture, such an uplifting atmosphere, fantastic founders, debt-free, solid. Like, I'm not going anywhere. This company is like a gold mine. It's a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. And my wish for all of you is that you see the opportunity, you feel the urgency of the opportunity, and that you have all the success that this company brings to you. So I realize I honestly can't see any comments. So if you guys are, I was going to do like questions and stuff. Usually I have my laptop out, but I can't see anything. And I can't change the window, and I don't have my laptop out. So I was going to do like a Q&A, but if you guys have any questions, you can write it and I can comment later. So that's my little message for you guys tonight. I just think this business is amazing. I think we're all so lucky. We're all so lucky to have found this company. You guys just don't know how lucky you are. You're so lucky to be in this spot with this business, this global company selling makeup on social media. It's awesome. It's amazing. I like pinch myself. Like, is this real? So, have a wonderful night, you guys, and plan for big things because you deserve them. All right. Bye, guys.